there, welcome to 100 Days of Coding Challenge of VCode. Today is day 21 and let's see the question number 2. So the question is, write a Java function named calculate Fibonacci which calculates and returns the nth term of the Fibonacci sequence. The function should take an integer n as an input and return an integer representing the nth term of the Fibonacci sequence. The function description is given, which is int calculate Fibonacci. So this is the name of the function which takes a parameters as the integer n. The input format must be an integer n representing the position of the term in the Fibonacci sequence, and it must return the nth term of the Fibonacci sequence. So if the input is given as 6, the output must be 8. So we had already seen what is Fibonacci sequence and we had printed the sequence in the previous videos. So let us now recall the concept of the Fibonacci sequence and find out the logic to write a code for it. So what is Fibonacci sequence? Is generally the sum of the previous two numbers. In this sequence, every term is the sum of previous two numbers. So the first term is 0, the second term is 1. So you can guess the next number. So that is 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, and then 5, 8, 13, and this series goes on. So here the position of each number is defined by an index. So that is for the 0 number, the index is 0, here 1, here 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So we are going to use this index to find the number present at that particular position. So how are we going to find using functions here? So functions are basically a piece of code we use in Java. So functions are called methods in Java. So these functions are a piece of code which makes the work for us easier. So like if we want to do a particular task once more, so we can't write the entire code, right? So we are going to call that function. So we can perform the task immediately without putting much effort. So that's why we use this concept. So now what is the formula for the Fibonacci sequence? So the formula is, so the term f of n at a particular position n is the sum of the previous two numbers, that is f of n minus 1 plus f of n minus 2. So this is the formula which we are going to use and find the nth term in the Fibonacci series. So we are also going to use a concept called recursion, which we used in the previous video to find the factorial also. So this recursion makes our work a lot more easier. So in this recursion we are going to call the function again instead of doing the whole process inside the function. So let us see the code and let's see how the code works also. So I have already created the Java file which is fibonacci.java. So let me name the variable of the position so as n, and let me give it as 7 this time, and I will print the fib of this number. So to find the number at a position n, I am using this fib function. So I am going to declare that function here. So we are going to declare the function is static because we are calling the function without using any object. The return type is an integer because the number at a particular position is integer. The name of the function is fib of the input parameter as an integer n. What we have to return here? So we have to return, so we have to find the Fibonacci of the n minus 1 term and n minus 2 term. So I will write fib of n minus 1 plus fib of n minus 2. So here you can observe I am calling this function inside this function. This is the concept of recursion. So this we will be understanding once we do a dry run for it. Dry run, what is dry run? So dry run is like basically you will take the value of the variables and you will check like what is happening for each variable each time. So you can check one by one. So we will take first value as 7, we will find the fib of n minus 1, that is fib of 6 plus fib of 5. So you will understand through the dry run. So now inside this, so we have one more condition. So what will be the value of fib of 0? So once we reach 0, so the Fibonacci sequence starts from 0, then 1, and then it goes again 1 and 2 and so on. So we have to declare that if n is equal to 0, so we have to return 0, because 0 position we are having 0, and if n is equal to 1 or even n is equal to 2, we have to return 1. Now the function will have no confusion in finding the value of when n is equal to 0. So now it will be very easy for the code to find out the value for n is equal to 7th position. So now let's run the code and check. So let me compile the file and now run the file. So you can see we have got the output as 13, which is exactly the 7th position of the Fibonacci series. So this is how we are going to calculate the nth term in the Fibonacci sequence using the functions and the concept called recursion. So that's it for this video. Do join the WhatsApp group of the 100 Days of Coding Challenge to get more updates. Thank you for watching.